And we're live.
We are live.
We are literally live.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. We are here at the Real Shot doing another episode of TRS Live.
TRS live.
It's either episode 59 or episode 60. It's one or the other.
It's definitely 60. Or is it 59?
It could be
The world
59.
may never know.
How's everybody doing today? Zach, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm fine. How was your weekend?
Good. How about yours?
Good.
We're gonna have like a really awkward monologue.
Yeah. Well, how
But
was
it's
it?
just the two of us, man. We used to vibe really well, and now it's just like, oh, okay.
Oh, I'm getting everything open here so I can
Me
monitor
too.
everything and
Try to open
thoughts
up the
on
old
planning
books.
an award show. Oh, okay. Brian wants us to. All right. Well, so we're gonna do TRS live today. Brian is out of studio. He's on vacation, and he said it's an official work vacation.
Work vacation. The work doesn't stop.
The work
especially
doesn't
with what
stop.
we've got going on here.
Right. Lots of awesome stuff. So remember, we are on YouTube as well, under the Real Shot YouTube page. So if you want to watch it over there, I'm monitoring comments on both Facebook and YouTube. So kind of what we wanted to talk about today, first and foremost, was podcast.
Podcasts. What is a podcast?
What is a podcast, and how we got started, and all this kind of stuff, and what we have coming up in the future here. We have some awesome things that we're working on.
Definitely.
But we do get occasional questions of what maybe it takes, how do I start one, all that kind of stuff. First of all, you got to have Brian Keller just go tell you to buy a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that's the first start of any podcast. Brian has to, no matter where you are in the world, just tell you to go buy stuff.
Well,
that's
so
the tipping point.
let's just elaborate on that. So, I mean, realistically, man, dude, it's 2018 already that we started talking about this, right? Because I think if we trace it back, our first official episode was shortly into the new year of 2019.
Yep.
And we had talked about, with all this hiring of you for here and me moving the transition off the sales floor into the marketing department, that this is something we felt needed to happen. Well, now you fast forward to 2020 and look at where everything's progressed to.
Right.
But it literally just hit where Brian's like, okay, guys, we're doing a podcast. We're either may be recorded, it may not be recorded.
Let's figure it out.
Go get some stuff. And so he had tasked us. You had the knowledge behind it. We ran to, what's that place called?
Guitar Center helped
Guitar
out quite
Center.
a bit.
They were
right here in
phenomenal.
Appleton.
What's that guy's name? Caleb?
Caleb, yeah.
Caleb.
Caleb was super phenomenal in helping us get set up. And now you see what we're at today. It's been a weird road because we've went through many transitions on the way here, and I mean it's gotten pretty big.
Right. Well, and that's the thing that we wanted to kind of hit on here. So like you can do a podcast in a studio setting like we have here, or you could just literally do a podcast. You can do them through your phone.
Yeah.
Right.
You could do it on your phone. You could do it at your dinner table if you wanted to. Actually, a lot of people do it
A lot
at
of
their dinner table.
Just kind of chill, and it just depends. Now, obviously, certain things are going to go along with it. Your audio quality, if you are going to do video footage, which, most podcasts that started audio, even radio shows that started audio, now have video. A lot of them, like Bob and Tom, I listen to them all the time on the radio, and they even have the VIP where you can purchase it. And then you can watch the video footage from live in the studio.
Yep.
It just adds to the whole entire show that way, too.
Right. So I think going with the idea of what today's episode is, breaking away a little bit from the outdoors, a little bit, is at the forefront of everything. If you yourself wanted to go and start your own podcast right now, what would be the best way to get started on that? And I would put it pretty simple. If you want a high quality podcast that you want to self-produce, maybe it's just you or maybe you and a friend.
Yep.
All you need is a computer. Write this down. It's
Right.
Audacity. The program is called Audacity. Audacity. It's a free audio editing platform, or you can subscribe to Adobe products, which gives you access to Adobe Audition. One of those two programs will work either way. They both have a record button and all the settings that you need. And then going out and buying a microphone.
Yep.
Could be as simple as a gaming headset. It's not going to sound the greatest on a gaming headset, but if that's what you have, it's what you got. Or you just drop about, $60 to $100 on a good USB condenser microphone.
Yep.
Blue is a brand that's out there. Blue Yeti is what they have, or the Snowball.
What did we start? We start with the Stenheisers.
Yeah, we started with a little bit of a different setup. So we skipped the USB platform. So this is if you were alone, right?
Okay, if you're just
If you're
talking,
just talking
plain
and,
Jane getting it going.
like a lot of my favorite podcasts are just one guy talking about like history, for example. It's just a guy in a room with a microphone and some history notes. That's all he needs is one mic. Now, if you're that guy, great. A USB microphone, that's going to work perfect for you. Now, if you're trying to up the ante and you want to have multiple people and you want to have individual lines for each person, we actually have right here. It's literally like almost like an on-stage stick microphone. You buy one of these with an XLR port. And the bottom, you can take this. They're powered through a mixing board, so you'd have to buy a mixing board for like $200, maybe.
Right.
You know, a good Yamaha one like we have is $200 to $500, depending on the size and the features that you want. You get one of those that plugs in through USB. Add multiple lines for your microphones. You can have most of them go up to 4, and there's ways to manipulate more into there, but do that, get a mixer, learn how to use it, and then plug that into your computer and use that as your line in, and you can use that for having a physical option of actually, if you look, I'll just grab my little camera here, a physical option of what you can use to control and manipulate audio.
There's a lot of buttons there.
Yeah, lots of buttons and switches and dials, mostly dials. But you use one of those, and you can manipulate the audio so that you have to do minimal in post. So after it's done being edited or shot, you don't really have to edit much. You might have to raise some levels or something like that, but for the most part, this is all for fine-tuning everything.
Like if you're driving in a Ford F-150 and you say that we're really quiet all the time.
Right.
Are you getting messages or something over there?
Yeah, from Brian.
Oh. Yeah, I see Megan's on here too. Oh. Are you guys going to bring the show back around? You go work with us on the. Oh yeah, we're gonna get there. Yeah.
So ABC always be closing. Right?
Always be closing.
But no. So anyways, you can do that. Or if you don't want to go through all the BS of setting up all of your own equipment, setting up all of your own stuff, and fronting that huge sum of money up front to get that going, basically. What you do is you hire someone, right? You go to a studio, find somebody with a studio or a friend with a studio, and one of the nice things is we have the abilities here at TRS in our new makeshift studio for now and an official studio hopefully coming soon to actually bring people in here if you'd like, and we can shoot your own podcast here.
Oh, for sure.
Whether we want to record it or take video. Of course, there are some things mixed in there as far as fees and whatnot. But if you are watching and you've wanted to do this for some amount of time now, or if you're just trying to, get an idea of what that may entail, get a hold of us.
Send us a message either on Facebook or Instagram or email us at info@therealshot. But yeah, our studio is definitely for rent. Our equipment is definitely for rent. So if anybody, so like a couple of customers per se have reached out to us and said, first of all, what's the cost of it all? Of renting it, we do have some set prices depending on where we want to go from there. But then we also have, of the startup cost of this. And I think when we first started it, we went a little deeper than most people do. I think we were in for just over $2,000, $3,000, somewhere around
Something
in there.
like that, yeah. We started small and then rapidly grew what we had to make it work for what we needed.
Right, and I could take an Instagram picture here, but right now there's no shortage of at least 2 different cameras, depending on how many guests we have. We have the ability to see ourselves, and a lot of this too transformed from head-to-head fishing because we're in the same room that we had head-to-head. But now with head-to-head growing this year and other assets of us, doing more of this media type stuff, we're definitely growing. So our equipment is growing, and the quality of the equipment is definitely growing for sure. So, but let's say you didn't want to make the investment for whatever reason, if you are looking to just get started, do a couple pilot episodes, we can definitely help you out with that.
Right.
But the other thing too is why we wanted to call this one So You Want to Host is because we are expanding here.
Right.
We talked about it a couple times in TRS Live. We are expanding our podcast and we are expanding our media all the way through and through, where eventually, there's going to probably be a separate entity here.
Yep.
So what that means is we potentially are going to be looking for some hosts.
Right. Yeah, and what we're looking to do is, everybody, we started off with TRS Live, basically just to be our platform as a company to talk about things that are going on around our store. around the area here, local events and everything. All that stuff is just it's something that we started and we wanted to expand on right away, and it took a little bit of time. And once we kind of figured some things out, we realized with our firearms, firearms for us have been really popular and really great and really helping us grow. But we wanted to try and boost that and find a different way to not really advertise, but just spread that word and show that there's not only a lot of products under our roof, but also a lot of knowledge too.
Right.
So we started Trigger Talk.
Yep.
Trigger Talk has been exceptionally popular in the few episodes that we have run. With that being said, we wanted to now take what we learned off of that, transition that talk show a little bit more towards a national level. Not only because of the fact that we as a team are pushing more media aspect and less advertising aspect. And basically, we want to expand now what we've done for Trigger Talk Live to our other departments, taking it more to a national level, not worry so much about just personal stuff or things here, but kind of just move into that, hey, this is a media entity, no longer a primary advertising arm. And I think that's really cool because that's going to open a lot of doors for these avenues and departments.
Yep. So, some of those departments, well, obviously are kind of departments that we have here, but not just, staying with those. So we're looking at expanding to just like Trigger Talk to a fishing show.
Yep.
One that covers all fishing. And, we have a potential host in mind for that show. We'd like to be open to other people that are possibly interested in here, and then we could work the details out.
Right.
But again, like if you absolutely think that you could host a podcast,
right,
and you could think you could either host like a fishing podcast, an archery podcast, or something that could be affiliated with the Real Shot, or something that's on your own. There's so many sports related ones. I mean, we have really good reviews when we do. We start opening most shows talking about football.
Right.
We just came off a big football weekend.
Did you watch the Titans-Patriots game?
I did not.
Did you see what happened at the end?
No.
Oh, my Lanta.
I didn't watch it,
so I didn't know if maybe you saw a highlight or something.
No. Well, that was Saturday, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. I was in the gym all day Saturday.
Oh, really?
Not working out, playing basketball.
Oh, actually, no, I need to get into a sport. But anyways, no, the Patriots, they got smacked in the face at like the last possible moment.
So do you think Tom Brady's going to retire?
I hope he does. I just don't like him. I don't know enough about sports, but I just don't like him.
I think a lot of people don't like Tom Brady because he's so good. I mean, what do people out there have to think about that? And we're taking a slight, detour from where
that's what we do.
Yeah, right. But that's the good thing about hosting your own podcast is it's your show. You can do whatever you want with it.
Right.
But, I mean, I got to see the Saints game against the Vikings. That one I thought was pretty exciting.
Definitely.
I can't think of that backup quarterback's name right now. Maybe somebody can help me for the Saints. But that guy is a freaking beast. I'm so
the backup quarterback?
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know enough about sports, especially football.
Somebody help me with that. Brad Fuller's on. What's up, Brad?
Is he going to be like
It's going to bother me. Brian, where are you at right now? He knows all the names.
Is that backup going to be kind of like the Aaron Rodgers story? Are you going to make him?
Well, I don't know, but the guy's a straight-up utility player. It's bothering me right now. So they put him in. When I first saw him come in, I started watching like late. I think it was in the second half. They put him in. Breeze came out for a minute or two, and then he threw a 50-yard pass, get him in scoring position. They scored. Tyson Hill, yes, thank you very much. Yes,
boom.
The dude's incredible. They could put him on any position and he'll run it. So then he played quarterback. Then they brought him in. I think it was like a 3rd and 4 or something like that. They brought him in again. He ran the ball, got the first down plus a bunch of yards because he's just a freak. And then thanks, Brad, as well for that comment. But then, and then they put him in. He catches a touchdown pass. And then the last play of the game that sealed the deal for the Vikings was Breeze steps back, gets hit, fumbles it. Vikings recover. I'm like, just run that guy the whole time. Like, why even put the switch in? And especially because Breeze had surgery on his thumb. So they're contributing the fact that he lost the ball was maybe because of his grip wasn't as good. But, I mean, that Tyson Hill, or Tyson Hill, that guy is unbelievable. You should watch some of his clips. The dude's a freak of nature.
Sounds like it.
So, and then the other one, we got the Seahawks coming up.
Right.
So that was, like I said, I'm kind of fair weather. Most of the time, this time of year, I'm hunting, so I didn't get to watch a whole lot of football. But we had kind of a lazy day yesterday. So I wonder Brad, how are you doing, Brad Fuller? are you back in the States?
Right.
So, but anyways,
Yeah.
Zach, continue
So,
to go on.
podcast.
So podcasting.
So we are looking to do like nationally based shows
Yep.
for not only now Trigger Talk for firearms.
Yep.
Which that show I think is going to get a lot more interesting now that we're pushing that envelope and direction.
Yep.
Just because it's not Trigger Talk with the real shot now. It is just Trigger Talk. The hosts have the freedom to talk about what they want, how they want, and it's sponsored by the real shot.
Sponsored by the real shot.
So that's going to really open some avenues. But no, fishing is going to be great.
Yep.
But also archery. Getting
Yep.
an archery podcast in here. And I think one other thing that we kind of wanted to do, because we're keeping TRS Live, and TRS Live is going to be exactly what it has been since day one.
Yep.
But something else that we were kind of thinking about is every time we talk stories, whether it's hunting, fishing, or just outdoors in general, everybody loves a good story.
Yeah.
So we've been thinking, so people who are watching, let us know if you'd be interested in maybe a once a week or more so probably once a month, like sit down, maybe like an evening show or something like that, that is 100% like a specific like storytelling. Like we have a guest or one of our employees or anyone that comes in and just tells us a grand story of something that happened to them.
Well, and that's the other thing too is like, the time frame of these podcasts.
Right.
Obviously TRS Live has been all over the spectrum. We've done it early mornings, we've done it we just spilled water all over here.
Yep.
There it is.
That happened.
There's our blooper clip. We had the Acme one from last week, and
At least it was water and not something
Did
worse.
anybody see that? Please let me know if they saw that.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you prepare to hydrate, make sure your water bottles are tightened.
But I lost my train of thought now, dude. We're just talking podcast. But
Time slots.
Times-
when
yes.
you should and shouldn't spill your water. Just
Yeah.
to let you know, are you ready to take a drink? Because back when I was in sales, anytime I wore a white shirt, I spilled coffee on it every single time.
every time.
Every time.
Did you get to the point where you stopped wearing a white
Uh-huh.
shirt?
And I never spilled a coffee again. Oh my gosh.
Oh man. So, anyways, time slots. Obviously, I remember the first time I drank out of a water bottle. Brad Fuller, that's so
it
awesome.
came out under the
Brad,
cap.
we hope you get back in the States soon, buddy. Continue to be safe. That's awesome. So, yes. So back to time slots. Evenings are obviously one of the better time slots. It's just if it works for your schedule. So keep that all in mind. And what do you want your show to be about? It's up to you.
Right.
If you're gonna do it here at the Real Shot, if you got something idea and you're willing to pay for it, we'll do
Right.
anything you want.
Yeah, here's the cool thing. Because if you want to come in and rent our studio, that doesn't mean it has to be related to TRS.
Right.
You're just utilizing the studio as a media entity.
Yep.
So if you want to come in here and talk about video games, like, go for it.
Do it.
It's just you're paying us to produce it. That's it.
Now we don't have the capabilities for somebody to play a video game while you're
we
doing it. Do we really?
Yeah, I could set that up.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
We have that thing that we originally. So there's a device we originally used to get our cameras into the computer. Well, we don't use that anymore, but we still have it. So if you want to do a video game stream, podcast, or something like that, sure, why not?
Well, and if you're paying for it, I mean, you can have a topic for whatever you want.
Imagine it's a studio. It's not even TRS.
Yeah.
It's not even a studio.
No, you're just coming in here and like we
Do
said,
what you want.
So yeah.
Now, as far as our podcasts go, there is structure.
Correct.
We want to have that creative freedom for
Yep.
the individuals who are talking on camera to be able to explore avenues that they want to explore within reason.
Yep.
But there's going to be structure and guidelines.
Further,
for our
that's all going to come
shows.
back to the Real Shot.
Right,
Yeah. And
for
that
our
would be
studio.
Trigger Talk. This
Trigger
show,
Talk.
obviously, the arching and whatever the fishing show is.
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking about it the other day. We were looking for titles, and now
Yep.
obviously, if we go outsource a host for the title of any of these shows, that may change. But for the archery one, what if it was just called Full Send?
That's not a thing already.
I don't know if it is or not.
We'll have to check on that
Check that one.
because I'm pretty sure there's like a million things out there named that, but I like it.
Right. Right. Okay, so let's get into so the podcast one is obviously huge, and this podcast one can also be a jump off for anybody that wants to break into, let's just say, TV.
Right.
So we are definitely working on that as well.
Right. We're working on things and stuff as far as the
Things
growing,
and stuff.
growing media. With head-to-head fishing brought a lot of challenges to our attention that we wanted to explore, regardless of what we used the equipment for and the ideas for. It brought up a lot of challenges that we overcame. We learned a lot of stuff, and then we were like, hey, now that we understand how this works, we can really expand on this. And when it comes to expanding, I don't know how much we want to get into, but much like our podcast, there's going to be a lot of growth in that department too. That's going to really benefit the people who are not only our TRS customers, but our media fans.
Right.
All those people. It's just going to be a beneficial way for you guys to get your names out there, to get yourself maybe in front of a camera at some point if you want to be, or even behind it if you're someone who's trying to get into media that just wants to learn how to use this stuff.
Yep.
That's going to be a possibility too.
So, long story short of that is we are going to be looking for TV ideas, show ideas as well.
Yeah.
So, if you're like me and honestly, I can remember back to 7th grade having like a career day and somebody's like, what are you going to do for a career? So, I'm going to be an outdoor host. And I'm almost there. I'm close. So if you're one of those kind of people that honestly thought that that's something that you wanted to do, you wanted to have your own hunting or fishing or kayaking or whatever type of show.
That's a lot of people out there that are like that.
It's tons. And okay, so let's go why this idea, we felt the need for this kind of idea. So I think we have permission. We can say the name, right? I mean, for the most part.
I don't know.
I'm going to say it. Can I say it?
Send it.
Fix TV is what the name of our stuff is going to be called, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at here. It looks like we got permission. But anyways, so dude, I'm just space cadet today. But anyway, so yeah,
Fix
TV. Like, so again, if you are looking to have your own show, we're gonna have the capabilities. Whether you use our equipment and we get certain privileges, or you hire somebody to edit your own stuff and all that stuff, we have a platform. I know where I wanted to go with it. YouTube and Facebook are getting super, super restricted on what kind of stuff you can put out there.
Right. They still allow a lot of the stuff that we're going to be hosting.
Yep.
But here's the thing. YouTube is extremely diluted. I mean,
for
every video you want to watch, there's like 6 billion videos of the same subject that you don't want to watch.
Yep.
And you're going to see half of those while scrolling to that first video you're looking for. I learned that this weekend I was having some troubles breaking down one of my firearms, and it took me like 17 videos to actually find the proper video to look and getting it taken apart. Like what?
Right.
And it was just because of the quality aspect.
Yep.
So when you think about that, we want to provide a platform that allows homegrown people that are just grassroots that want to do things. Like I know I've met so many guys who go out in the woods with a camcorder and a friend, and then film and like back to the VHS days.
Yep.
And then didn't do anything with them, right?
Yep.
You have them to show family and friends, which is cool. But if you want to step up your game and actually make that, if that's something you care about, we can help you with that. We can host it in numerous different ways.
Well, and I'm over here on YouTube where we're also airing TRS Live today, and I got Cax over there. He says, what state are you guys from? We're from Wisconsin right now.
We are from Wisconsin.
Just right now. But anyways,
I identify as someone from Tennessee.
Yeah, after last year from the Bassmaster Classic, you were moving there, weren't you?
I still want to, man. That has not left my head since we left there.
So, but yeah, again, like so, yeah. I've done it. I still try to film as much as I possibly can. I do it more for the store, but I just like going out in the woods with my video camera or the store's video camera and just filming stuff. I mean, look at head-to-head. For those who watch head-to-head, look at how much cool footage we got lucky and got a picture of.
Right.
That northern.
So that brings us full circle, really. We want to have stuff that's pre-recorded, stuff that's edited, chopped up, and produced for TV or viewership, but live.
But we want live.
Live is the new. Really, live is the new everything in media right now.
Sure is.
People are so impatient these days. You could almost like look at a slide at a park, and patience is literally that.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Instant gratification is great. Well, guess what? If you could see, you don't even have to wait for a TV season to come out. You can just watch it happen right in front of you. And the cool thing about that is thinking about things like, what if, right? Let's go out on a limb. What if you could watch a bunch of people hunting, maybe all the same type of game, maybe different game, all at the same time,
Yep.
live from their tree stands, no edits, no nothing, just straight start to finish hunt
Yep.
all the way through. And you could watch a person halfway across, the nation hunting for game that you want to watch being hunted.
Or fishing.
Or fishing.
Or whatever
We
it
go
may
live.
be.
We could have live shows from boats. I mean, we already do that with head-to-head.
Right.
So when you think about that, and then you also think about, hey, let's not stop at the outdoors, because people have more than one hobby usually,
Right.
Like, look at me. I'm ridiculous when it comes to this stuff. I have a new thing every week.
Micro fishing live show.
Microfishing live show.
Do it.
I would definitely maybe do that.
So, and it's funny because, like, okay, so that point leads into Justin and I were talking this morning during our morning meeting, and he's like, you know how much time is wasted watching some of these people on YouTube that just like TRS Live maybe know what they're talking about, maybe don't. I go, yeah, here's the thing, Justin. I said, you work at a company, you could do that. You could be that person.
Right.
If you don't think that person knows what they're talking about, then why don't you take some of our amazing camera equipment, grab Zach, and go prove everybody wrong that you are the person that knows what they're talking about.
Right.
That's just how easy it is nowadays with the technology, even on your cell phone. Yeah, just go do it.
Literally, it is exactly like that.
Right. And again, we're trying to tell everybody we can help you do that stuff. We're going to have platforms coming up here where if it's a podcast, we can help you do that stuff. If you want your own TV show, if you already have your own YouTube channel and you're getting tired of what the restrictions are on YouTube or on Facebook, we have a different platform
And that is
for you.
especially important. Thank you for bringing that back up. That's especially important for the firearms guys.
Yes.
YouTube's cool for firearms guys when you want to watch something basic like my favorite stuff is like guys that review old guns or guys that just shoot and review.
Yep.
That's cool. But actually seeing, more of the high-intensity stuff or the training videos or the videos that, go out of their way to go do stuff that may or may not be considered, maybe violent. Like, YouTube is talking about cracking down on people teaching, like, as simple as, like, I had to build an AR-15 this weekend. I went into it with zero knowledge. YouTube University had it built in a half an hour. So YouTube wants to get rid of all those videos. They don't want people to be able to go on their platform to learn that stuff.
Really?
So yeah, because you're teaching people how to build firearms. Oh, who friggity who?
Right.
So now we will have a platform for people to say, hey, if there's a gun guy out there that wants to capitalize on this market as that dwindles down and people are making an exodus to something else, which right now something else doesn't really exist. We're your place.
We're going
to be able to host that for you. So
and it doesn't, and it does just like TRS Live and like we've talked about before. It doesn't have to be just local either.
Right.
If you have a way to get us your content,
Yep.
we have a platform for you right now.
Right.
I mean, it's just
well,
that
I wouldn't say
simple.
right now.
Well, okay, 2020, we will shortly into this year.
Right.
I mean, if you ask Brian right now, he'll tell you he's got a spot for you. Let's sign you up right now.
Right.
And I'm probably not wrong. We're probably going to see that message come through our messages here in a minute.
Did I do it again? I'm just kidding. I'm like over here.
All right.
Like,
Oh my
we're
God,
good.
dude, take a drink right now and spill it. Now you won't.
Inspecting it.
If you
It
did,
reminds me of the movie Airplane. It's like, ever since the war, I've had a drinking problem, and then he just can't take a drink. Like he keeps throwing the water. That's how I felt. But anyways,
yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna be able to ramble for an hour on this one. We actually started on time today, which
we
is
did
really
start
weird.
on time,
Like normally by this point we haven't been on the air for more than 5 minutes. Now we're on already for half an hour.
right?
I'm not used to it. But I mean, so we could ask anybody that's watching. I mean, what kind of things would you want to watch? I mean, so like we've talked about it before.
And it doesn't have to be outdoors related.
Nothing has to do. Okay, so we've talked about there's a football podcast. If you are a fantasy football guru and you think you can do a fantasy football podcast better than anybody else, right here, man, come to the Real Shot. We'll help you out.
Right.
We'll help you get started with it. If you want to talk about how to fix cars. I don't know what the heck you're talking about, but there's a lot of people out there that would love to listen to you.
Right.
Zach, what's you're drifting, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna try to find a platform for drifting on Fix TV to make it happen.
Right.
And that way, for those drifters, you're gonna be able to get your fix on
Right.
Fix TV for all the drifting and all the drifting type stuff that there is possible. I don't
Right.
even know what drifting really means, but it's crazy. Yeah, Brian just sent me a message now that says you're not wrong. So basically we do. We can facilitate. Like, and we've had, okay, so let's just say this. back to the fixed TV portion of it all. We've had a couple of TV show potential come through the doors asking for sponsorship ideas, right?
Right.
Well, now we don't have to tell those companies that we can't really help you out because they're asking for high dollars that you have to pay to be on television.
Right.
And with this one guy that came in, we actually told him, with our very little knowledge of the subject at times, that, dude, going to TV is not the right idea anymore. You should be going to YouTube.
Especially at a grassroots. I mean, when you think about it, right, TV is oversaturated, and it's also really, really expensive. And people nowadays are breaking away from TV in the first place because streaming platforms are just so much better.
Right.
I can spend $5.99 a month and choose exactly what I want to watch.
Yep.
Where television now, I mean, not only are viewerships going down, but the costs are going up, and it just doesn't make much sense when you could, for realistically, depending on the platform, and I'm not going to say this for fix yet because we don't really know, but for borderline free or a little bit of coin, pocket change, let's say, in comparison to what TV stations want, you could build your own audience and make more money than you will on TV.
Oh, hands down.
Hands down. It's kind of sickening, actually.
And the thing that the thing that I guess I want to get out to people that that are watching this or that will watch this in the time is you could be on the ground floor of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you could be one of the episodes that helps kick off not only for your success but our success as well. If you are that person and you're so jacked up and ready to go for it, dude, just let us know right now. We're ready to go. We're ready to work with you and get things going on. Don't have commercials. Yeah, and that's the thing, too. So E.C. Davis just said it's nice that we don't have commercials. Well, unfortunately, I mean, that's the part that comes with it. But if you listen to most podcasts, the way they do them is they have a small sponsorship segment, either front or end or middle or whatever it may be. Because unfortunately, as much as we would love to be commercial free, and if you paid for it, you could go commercial free in a point of it, and that's the way all these subscription platforms are. You still got to pay for that stuff somehow, some shape, somewhere.
Right. I mean, it's just you got to pay the bills, right? I mean, you can't own a house without paying for it for the most part.
I've tried. It doesn't work that way.
So when it comes
eventually,
to this
they
stuff,
don't let you live there anymore.
Yeah, unless you've been there for how many days? Is it 90 days?
I don't think Wisconsin allows for squatters' rights.
Oh, well then I am on two totally different pages, and I'll be right back.
Oh my God, Omega TV, experience the difference on the fix. Boom. I love it, Brad. Dude, there it is. As long as Brad Fuller, I can be a guest on Omega TV, I'd love to do it.
Oh, yeah.
So, see, there you go, people. That's just how simple it is.
Right? That's exactly it. You can come up with an idea. I mean, Brian comes up with ideas every 5 minutes. I come up with ideas every 5 minutes. Maybe someday one of you guys will have an idea every 5 minutes and put one into work for us.
Right. And like Brian tells us, just keep throwing until something sticks.
Literally. With that being said, though, I mean, there's just such an opportunity. I mean, like, seriously, I've thought about it as far as live shows go. I mean, you could do a live food plotting show.
For sure.
It'd be really crazy interesting to see large food plots being put in with all the equipment and work that actually goes into it.
The thing that we feel here at the Real Shot is more beneficial is the live stuff is just a lot less on the back end that you have to do.
Right. Yeah. There's really little back end work besides uploading it and stuff.
So let's specify that though, because of where this platform for fixed TV will be, there will be a slight delay. We will have some things that we'll have to follow, but not nearly as much as every other platform has. Because basically Brian is the owner of it, we can put out there whatever we want to a point. There'll be a slight delay, and if you're gonna go off and yell and do all this kind of stuff, well, we can tweak that.
Whoever's producing that can tweak it, but
right.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be really cool. Plus, on top of that, I mean, like I said, anything's game. I mean, for the most part, 90% of things are game.
Yep. Well, okay. So for those who are joining us, we're kind of spiking here now. We are in the process of, first of all, expanding our podcast line here just at the store.
Yep.
And what we also recapped here is that we can help anybody that's interested in making their own podcast. We have the facilities here. We're in the process of redoing or making a better studio location. So if you have any kind of podcast idea and you were just kind of dragging your feet to try to get that baby launched, come give us a message, stop into the store. A lot of the details we have in place, it might take us a little bit to figure out exactly what we need to do, but we can help you do that.
Right.
And then I think we've officially kind of announced the launch of Fixed TV and what that's all going to be about. So, What Fixed TV is going to be is a subscription, possibly, maybe not, based platform where if you want to either do a edited type show, you want to do a live type show, we are going to have that capabilities for you. If
Right.
you need equipment, we have equipment that we could possibly lease,
Right.
rent, so on and so forth.
And there's not really a set in stone price right now.
No.
There's some loose guidelines we put together a while back, but here's the thing is everybody who has an idea, it's going to look different from top to bottom.
Correct.
So it's more so talk to us. Let us know what you're thinking, what you're trying to do. Maybe we see value in it that we can help out. Maybe it's something that you want to do just 100% for your free time, just filling it. We got to figure that out first and then move forward and say, okay, well, if this is all the stuff you need, then this is how it's going to cost.
So you're kind of answering Steve's question right there.
Yeah, so there, like I said, I just read part of that. That's part of it is just whatever your ideas are and come to us.
Yep.
Give us your dream picture. Like, what do you envision?
Yep.
We'll tell you what that's going to take, and then we'll figure out the cost from there. Because it's just there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's the other reason we want to help some places, some people get started in this kind of stuff because of what Steve just said. And Brian said the same thing. He tried to have a TV show, and he goes, "You buy your airtime." So if you don't have much of a budget, you're buying a show that runs at 3 o'clock in the morning that nobody's ever going to watch.
Right, because you got to also be able to pay to produce
it and everything like that. So like the editing portion is something that, again, if you want to bring us edited footage and just have a house for it, or a place to view it, that's not on YouTube. That's going to potentially be a bigger scenario for that kind of stuff. We can help you with that. Now those costs may be a little bit different than if you're bringing us raw footage, you needed edit it, you needed all this kind of stuff. You don't have any equipment or anything like that. We still highly suggest going to get yourself some sponsors.
Right, and that's the big thing too. Is if you are out there and right now, if maybe you have the equipment ready to go.
Yep.
If you've already got that set in stone that you have your equipment and you want to film, just get out there and start filming before you even go to a platform. Just go out there and film.
Yeah.
Learn that craft, and then take that to potential sponsors or get it established too with us or with whatever platform, and get out there and just try to chase that.
Yeah, because there will be places for, and if, let's just say you're a company and you're looking for another platform to advertise on and you feel like that's something that's going to be a great fit for you too, contact us.
Right.
If you, obviously guys and gals and everybody listening and watching this kind of stuff or is going to watch this stuff, we are working through this. This is a process that we're working on. But like anything here in the Real Shot, we go heads in first, and this information will be ready to go here in a couple of weeks. Brian is all ready to go right now. If you ask him, the other portions we can just figure out on the fly. Some people don't operate that way. Some people want all the full details first. But so long story short, if you have a YouTube show right now, if you're looking to expand it to a different horizon, we can help you out with that. If you're looking to get started on your own, we can help you out with that. If you want to do a podcast, blah, 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 blah. We're eventually going to be a media company, and the Real Shot would just be the store.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what it's starting to look like. EC Davis says, are you guys going to do a show on these videos and narrate them or do a best of for the week? EC, expand upon that. Are you talking about our in-house podcasts and whatnot, or are you talking about the other people's shows going on Fix? Because I would say yes for our in-house podcasts and things like that.
Yep.
That would definitely be something that we want to do. And kind of pull together just highlights from the week's shows and everything like that, maybe every Friday and drop it on Saturday or something like that.
Right.
But as far as like if we have a bunch of shows on Fix, I don't know if we'd be able to facilitate that when just mixing shows.
No, like if you have your own show and you're bringing
Right.
it to the Fix platform, you're going to do your own advertising for that show.
Yep.
You're going to do your own promoting for that show. In a way, the channel will probably promote things for you, like tonight on Fix TV, check out whatever it is. But again, some details have to be figured out yet. But
yeah. We're at the ground level of our ground level.
It's going to happen, though. It's happening already. Yes, on your show, if people are uploading their videos. He's talking Fixed TV.
Yeah, so I don't think so. Like if everybody, if we had 5, sources for videos, if maybe we had a farming one and there could be. I'm not saying no. I just don't know if we'd be able to facilitate that or how we'd want to facilitate that.
Maybe. Let's just say maybe.
Yeah. We'll put a big question mark
There's
on it.
maybe. I mean, well, like for head-to-head, I mean, we've realized that we needed commentators for that portion of it. Well, and we also, for our streaming platform, we also might have I don't want to say the exact word, but we might have a zone type channel where you might be able to go on there and watch nothing but hook sets.
Right.
Maybe we call it catch zone. And you just go
Maybe.
right on catch zone and you watch all the hook sets from, let's just say, a head-to-head event.
Right.
You know, if you ask Brian Keller, who's living in or enjoying the Florida warmth today, there's no end to what we can potentially do here, and we're going to prove that here in 2020.
Right.
We're already here, and it's going to happen. I mean, the fixed TV is already created.
Yep.
Basically, at this point, we just need content for it and have to figure out some of the fine-tuning details of it all.
Right.
So TRS Live is here. Trigger Talk is here. Now, it won't be long before there's an archery and a fishing show that are sponsored by the Real Shot, and we're leaving it up to you. If you're the host of that show's kind of your host. You're the host of it. You come up with ideas and criteria and all that kind of stuff, and just run with it. You just have to call
or jog with it.
Or jog.
Yog.
Or yog. Yeah, it's a soft J. So it looks like people are pretty stoked for it. I'm pretty stoked for it.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Things you'd like to see, things you want to hear from us on, any questions that you guys have too. But yeah, as far as that goes, that kind of covers what we wanted to say today. I mean, if you're at the ground level and you want to start producing it for yourself, all you need is a computer and a microphone that plugs in through the USB. If you want to make a big time, full-on production of it, we can help you with that.
Yep. So back over to YouTube again. I'm just kind of catch up on some of the comments. What state are you guys from? We already covered that one. Maybe he's asking us. Maybe he's asking other people. Tom says he's from Pennsylvania. Where does the podcast stream live to? So right now you can watch TRS Live if that's what you're interested in on Facebook and on YouTube. A lot of people like to watch it where you're watching it right now on YouTube because you can have the option to either, throw it or whatever you streamline it, cast it, whatever you want to do it, throw a bobber on it, and but you can watch it on the big screen TV type stuff like this. And then, otherwise it's primarily on Facebook is where we do a lot of the promotion for it as well. So,
Yep.
And then, so obviously, like we've talked about it, Trigger Talk tomorrow. That happens at 9 o'clock Central Time. That is another one of the shows hosted here at The Real Shot. That's with Steve and Mark. I join in on that one as well at times. Zach's obviously produces that one.
Yep.
But that is our gun show right now.
Is the gun show.
That's the gun show. So, we're talking to Steve already today. Topics for tomorrow are going to be collecting. What it takes to potentially get some guns collected. We had a little bit of a snafu on that. We figured it all out, and now we're just going to learn from it and move forward for it. So he wants to tackle collecting. I think it's a great idea.
Definitely.
So if anybody that is a fan of TRS Live, do us a favor, go watch Trigger Talk tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central. You can talk to Steve. It's all live platform, just like TRS Live is here, and you can talk to Steve and Mark and ask them any questions. And that's a great place. And then so Trigger Talk it's going to go through a little bit of hiccups here because it's not going to be so much what we have here at the store. We wanted to grow it to that national level, so it fits perfectly on fixed TV. So somebody in North Carolina can definitely enjoy it and relate to it all. So we're looking for awesome subjects on that kind of stuff. Way to keep thinking out of the box. Well, we appreciate it, Brantner. Hey, Brantner, you're probably going to come on to Trigger Talk. You should be ready for it to come talk about Vortex. Now, the thing about it, you're just going to talk about Vortex and how great their products are. And then Steve's going to say, hey, we're sponsored by The Real Shot, and you can come check out all Vortex products at therealshot.com, right?
Right.
There it is. Man, I'm getting pretty good at this. Yeah.
Cool.
It's cool.
Indeed.
Indubitably,
What else we got?
Indubitably do. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, since this is TRS Live, this is based off The Real Shot. We can talk about some things that are going on in here in The Real Shot. Ice conditions are fair.
I've been hearing a lot of people ice fishing up north.
Yep.
Around here, I'm not sure how it's been acting. I mean, we've had some weird weather.
Yeah.
It's been getting like 40s and then 20s and then 40s and then 20s.
Yep. In the future cast, it looks decent. Colder temperatures at night, but I don't think we're going to be making a lot of ice. So in saying that, if you are looking for some ice-related products to save yourself some money, things are going to start trickling on sale here at The Real Shot. Some bigger ticket items too that you might be excited for. So
Yep. And we've got deals right now on a lot of other stuff around the store.
Yep.
So I mean, if you need anything right now, just give us a shot.
yeah, and the nice thing is normally this is not an issue. We wouldn't be doing this, but some of the companies have lifted some of their restrictions on the pricing because they know that, they know the ice conditions across the Midwest. Where Justin was even talking about one of our companies, a car, is in Russia.
Yep.
And he said they don't even have ice in Russia right now. And normally they have obviously plenty of ice. That's where a car is out
That's
of. That's
literally where ice comes from.
It trickles down.
Yeah.
So they're not ice fishing. So they understand the headaches that we're going through here in the Midwest. And a big portion of our business is ice fishing.
Just remember, it's January. There's no snow in Wisconsin, and Australia is literally on fire.
Zach, is this your podcast idea?
It's my
You're
podcast
just going to
idea.
talk about...
My podcast idea would just be a bunch of really insightful talks about really controversial subjects. That's all it would be. Literally it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I love it.
Although I think Australia got rain today in a lot of those places that were having the huge fires.
Oh,
cool.
That's good.
But that was like the big. I think that's like the biggest fire they've had down there.
Well, that's an island.
It's
Where
like
are you going to go?
Like literally a boat. You'd be better off on a boat because water can't start on fire.
Right.
Unless you let BP and then they spill a bunch of oil on it.
Can it boil? Can the
Probably.
ocean water boil?
Yeah.
Then start your boat on
Apparently
fire?
that's what happened to Mars.
Really?
Yeah. That's why there's all the water went to the ice caps.
What would you name your podcast?
What would I name my podcast? For the controversial stuff?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
That's the name of your podcast? I don't even know.
I don't even know. Yeah, that's it right there. Boom, we solved it. I got a new podcast. Check me out Tuesdays at 7 p.m.
So, like, obviously, when we first started TRS Live, my wife was like, why can't I do a podcast? I said, sure, come on. You could. So I talked about it on Friday. She called when we were having our meeting about all these ideas. Her podcast idea would be When's Lunch?
When's Lunch? What would it be about?
I don't know.
Lunch?
It'd be her and her girlfriends just going on and on about stuff in general.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. I told her it should be Women and Wine.
Women and Wine.
But she's like...
Whatever happened to 3 married dudes in a room?
Huh? It still happens, dude.
We do.
There you go. Like
3 married dudes in a room.
3 married dudes in a room. And just talk about being married.
Being married.
There you go. There's another topic.
I don't really have much to talk about when it comes to being married.
No?
Not really.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I would say it's a good thing. Yeah. I mean, we could talk about how I may or may not have misplaced the stud finder this morning, and
you didn't say
I
it's
got
right
an
here.
I got an earful.
You didn't say, look, I don't need it. It's right here. Hey, I'm the only stud finder you need. Yeah, I don't know. Well, there's a chance. Come on, people. Come in here and get a podcast started. Let's hear it. I want to hear some of these other podcast ideas that people would have.
Right.
It's unbelievable. So
I think I'm going to run with your idea. I don't even know because I'm just going to run with that controversial subject.
It's all opinions.
We're going to talk about concealed carry laws, UFOs, global warming,
losing the stud finder.
losing the stud finder.
Did you get in trouble?
Where did it go?
Where did
I
it
don't
go?
even know.
I don't know. Yeah. There it is.
All right.
All right, let's wrap this one up. Well, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And remember, if you have any questions on what we talked about, if you watch this one at a different time, you can always reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is pretty much just
The
Facebook,
Real
The Real
Shot.
Shot. You can message us over there if you're interested
Shoot
in
us a
any
message on Instagram.
InstaSlam, YouTube, which is TRS Outdoors, info@therealshot.com if you have any questions about anything we covered in today's TRS Live episode 60. Oh, man,
60
61.
episodes.
Yeah, 60
60
episodes. Now, I know we're about ready to wrap it up. What did Brian mean again about this award show? Do you remember what he meant about that?
Oh, yeah. There may or may not be.
The drive.
Nice. What's it called? The award show has to do with head-to-head fishing.
Oh,
Remember
that's
that one.
right.
So if you're thinking about fishing head-to-head fishing, there may or may not be something even bigger in the works to help up the ante on why you should fish it.
Thank you for reminding
Or
me.
the TRS Live Awards show.
Yeah, either one.
Most childish jokes made. Which one of us would get it?
Yeah. I watched the Acne one again. That was absolutely hilarious. I would think I watched it like 15 times. It's pretty good. Acne. You remember it?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
All right, Brad Fuller's got 2 show ideas. He's in for sure. The Drive with Brad Fuller. Stop thinking and start doing.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds like I'd watch it.
I would watch
Let's
it.
do it.
I'd watch it all over Fixed TV. All right, Brad. Well, we're going to let you get back to being Brad Fuller and being awesome. And everybody else, E.C. Davis, Nick Brander, all these other people that tune in, thank you so much for watching TRS Live. I'll be in here tomorrow at 9 a.m. So will Zach on Trigger Talk Live. Remember, that's with Steve and Mark, and they're going to be talking about collecting firearms. That's the Firearms channel. So if you have anything gun-related, any questions, any topics, just let those guys know right over there. You can watch that here on Facebook, The Real Shot. And you can watch it. Oh no, that one you cannot watch on YouTube.
That one's not on YouTube.
Because of the handcuffs of YouTube.
Because of the shackles.
The shackles
of the man.
Eventually, you'll be able to watch Trigger Talk live on Fix TV. So saying that, we're going to get out of here. Have a great rest of your Monday, everybody. And we'll talk to everybody next Monday.